Now, another area that we're keeping a close eye on is Taylor County. WTXL ABC 27's Cara Bailey is live there now. Cara?
I am in Taylor County's Keaton Beach right now, and there is some wind picking up. But for residents here in Taylor County, flooding is a major concern. They had some of the worst flooding that they have ever seen just a few months ago. Back in August, the county actually issued a state of emergency for Steinhatchee when about 100 people experienced damage to their homes from heavy flooding. And between that flooding and their experience with Hurricane Hermine, local businesses are hoping there is not more of the same from Nestor.
Actually kind of caught us off guard. It came out of nowhere. We're expecting a pretty good surge and pretty heavy winds, so we're taking all the precautions we can to be prepared for this thing.
And winds are definitely another thing for people to be concerned about. Here we are experiencing those winds picking up right here at Keaton Beach. We'll have more on that for you later in this half hour. For right now, reporting live in Taylor County, Cara Bailey, ABC 27.
All right, thank you, Cara. Now in Wakulla County, the rain is starting to come down and the winds are picking up there. ABC 27's Brittany Barnett joins us from there now. Brittany.
Good morning, Angela. I am in Wakulla County right now, just off of Crawfordville Highway. The rain is starting to pick up right now. It's just sprinkling, so it's nothing too major. The wind gusts are picking up right now. It's supposed to get up to about 25 miles per hour, and that's going to get worse as the day goes on. Are patrolling the area. Deputies are out on the streets making sure everyone is safe. Right now there are no road closures and people are out and about driving. And we'll be hanging out here for the next hour in Wakulla County. Brittany Barnett, WTXL ABC 27.
We apologize for some technical difficulties there. Now, the storm is responsible for a lot of events being canceled this weekend. For a list of cancellations and closing, you can find them right now on our website, WTXL.tv. Impacts from Nestor are being felt all across the state, especially in Central Florida.
Now, the storm is responsible for a possible tornado damage in Polk County. Authorities in Lakeland believe a large tornado hit Catherine Middle School and then jumped over to a neighborhood. People there are working to board up their front window after it was blown out. 2x4s and particles of wood are embedded in their walls. An AC unit was also knocked off its foundation. Right now, there are no reports of any injuries.
Storms in Polk County are so strong that there are reports that this tractor trailer was picked up and flipped on I-4. As you can imagine, this has caused major backups on the road. The driver was taken to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. And the Tampa Bay area has been seeing a lot of issues that we could have seen right here in the Big Bend.
Sammy Squires is here to explain why this area took such a hard hit from the storm.
Yeah, so there is a associated with Nestor towards the Tampa Bay to fall apart as it moves towards the coast. This is very typical at this time of year because of being so late into the hurricane season. So we do have the center of the storm still southeast into the Tallahassee region. However, Tampa is seeing lots of moisture and lots of lightning with it. And that's kind of why you are seeing those tornado reports in Polk County. Last night, seeing those reports around 10:45 p.m. They will be tracking more of this going into the afternoon to see exactly where that path was and if it was an EF0 or not. So we will be completing
Impacts from Nestor being felt on the football field this morning. The changes you need to know ahead of this weekend's big matchups.
Welcome back. Time now is 7:13. Here's a look at your Titan radar loop over the past few hours. Seeing that moisture move onshore from Tropical Storm Nestor, we're going to continue to see waves of rain pass through the course of the morning with some gusty winds picking up in the next few hours. I'm going to break down your full forecast and all the latest details on Tropical Storm Nestor coming up here in just a few minutes.
And we're following conditions across the area. In Franklin County, roads on the coast are starting to flood.
ABC 27's Nathan Dean is live. So Nathan, what is the status of the storm in your area?
And as you're driving in, you can really start to feel the wind start to pick up just driving in here. And the rain, you can honestly just feel it, and it's all the way falling along. And when you look at these boats, you can start to see them swaying back and forth, and you can see the water start to rise up. And as the rain is just continuing to fall harder and harder as the day continues to go along. And you started to see earlier this week that people were not taking this storm any lightly. They remember Hurricane Michael, and although this is just a tropical storm, they did not want to prepare any lightly or any less compared to the hurricane from last year. So this storm really hit this county hard in here in Franklin County, and now we're just preparing to see what Tropical Storm Nestor will bring later on in the day as we continue to see this storm continue to come through. Guys?
All right, thank you, Nathan. Now, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office also wants you to be on the lookout for birds. This picture posted on its Facebook page after a pelican was rescued on St. George Island. The post says the bird was on the bridge, unable to fly in the windy weather. If you see a pelican stuck on the bridge, the Sheriff's Office says just to give them a call.
Today is not your normal college football Saturday.
Absolutely. Sports Director Allison Posey breaks down how the storm is impacting our local teams.
So here's the good news. We are playing college football this weekend. Florida State still at Wake Forest tonight, still set for a 7:30 kick. Valdosta State has moved their game from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock tonight. Florida A&M, they're still playing, but their game will now be played Sunday instead of today. This game is a big one too. The Rattlers hosting North Carolina A&T, and these two teams, two of the best teams in black college football. The Aggies are ranked #1. FAMU #2. Now the safety of the student athletes and the fans, why this game was moved in the first place, but they knew they had to get it in.
Had North Carolina A&T not been able to get a charter, had they not been able to get hotel rooms, this game's going to get canceled. And quite frankly, that would be a disservice to these student athletes. You want to play these games. This is why, these student athletes, they say, this is why you come to this school to play in games like this.
And that game is going on, set for a 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday at Bragg Memorial Stadium. In studio, Allison Posey, WTXL ABC 27.
And this is Valdosta State's homecoming weekend. Here's a look at their annual parade. That event was moved up last night due to Nestor, and that is just one of the number of events rescheduled across the Big Bend. We've made it easy for you to find all of this weekend's cancellations. You can find them right now on our website, WTXL.tv.
Time now 7:16. We're going to start off looking outside at FSU. It has been dry for a good period of time here in Tallahassee so far this morning, but kind of waves of light rainfall. You can see those clouds are moving from south to north quick. Sunrise is actually pretty soon, and the very tail end of this loop here, you can see some light starting to peek up. So as you head out of the house, what can you expect? Well, it's going to be a little breezy outside, not only right now, but through the rest of your morning. Looking at sustained winds of 12 miles per hour in Perry, 17 here in the capital city and down in Apalachicola. Apalachicola seeing their fair share of some gusty winds. Only 26 right now with 23 mile per hour gusts in Bainbridge and Mariana. None of those tropical storm forests. Again, we have seen them already in Apalachicola. We've seen gusts just offshore St. George, 58 miles per hour. Pretty breezy out there as you leave the house. Your Titan radar, let's take a closer look here back home. You can see showers working from south to north. No thunderstorms out there. Nothing severe, and it does look like our severe potential is much lower than previously thought. Not only the severe potential, but the threat for tornadoes, which has really been staying down through parts of west central Florida as all that moisture has been pushed east and displaced from the center. That has lessened our impact. So again, while Nestor has kind of done what we thought it would do, it just wasn't where we thought it would be. We thought that most of that impact would be more close to home, but tornado watches, those are in effect up and out through central Florida till noon, along with a slight risk for severe weather. Can't rule out a few isolated severe storms still here throughout the late morning and the afternoon, but it is looking like that threat is less. We have this low-end marginal risk for us here today. But again, it is not a very pretty picture there on the satellite for old Nestor. We are seeing this continue to work northeast towards Apalachicola. All that convection, all that moisture with the storms associated with it up and down the peninsula. So it's hard to believe that those folks further south are seeing it worse than we are. But when you step outside, it might actually be easy to believe. Max winds at 50 miles per hour right now. Again, we're still expecting the winds to pick up a bit for you into the afternoon. We still have tropical storm warnings in effect for the entire Big Bend. Those have been getting trimmed back, but along with the storm surge warnings, we got a lot going on outside. It's just the weather itself. We're kind of waiting on it to respond. I think the RPM here